I'm back at the King Orry Suite for our second briefing of the day. With me is Chris Robershaw, Social Minister, Social Care, and a briefing to us and obviously to the wider public about how we're going with your changes. I mean, you did this at Roman Coman the other week. It looks like we've got the same sort of message here again. Is you just reinforcing the same things, that changes are going to happen, and I'm on top of it all?
Well, let's hope so. No, it's today because the consultation responses go public this afternoon, well, 3 o'clock. So I followed it up with a press conference, and very, very happy to answer any questions on the subject that you've got. I don't think we're over-egging it. It's a desperately important subject. The social policy benefit system, which we've employed now for many, many, many years, being very similar to that of the UK, is deemed to be not fit for purpose. And it's very, very important that we get the changes absolutely right. Because once these changes set in, they will be with us for a long time. So it's important to engage with the public as we have done, and now consider very, very carefully each step, and to engage public interest and continue to get responses as much as we possibly can. So I hope it's not considered that I'm overdoing it. I think it's terribly, terribly important that, you know, people focus on this subject.
We'll be put online your press conference, which has all the PowerPoint slides in it, and it breaks it all down. But just for this interview, can you give us the highlight? What is the big thing you're trying to tell us all today?
Well, it's an issue of recognising that it's not just about benefit cuts. It's not about cuts per se, even though we have tremendous budgetary challenges. It's about assembling a set of principles that will lead and advise policy changes and benefit changes as we go along. So everything we look at and adjust must, as it were, touch base with the principles that we've set out. There are 3 overarching principles and a number of working principles. And we set those out in our consultation document. And as you will see from that presentation, that they have been received extremely well by the general public, and we're very encouraged by that.
What, 1,500 replies, which is more than you normally get, I understand?
No, 1,200 replies.
Right.
Which, it's a record.
Yeah, and a few more extras you took on as well.
And 2,500 independent comments that people made, as it were, from the heart, that they were animated about.
But you asked the questions, which in a sense would be the obvious answers. You know, do we need change? Yes, we do. And you're very pleased that you've got that, but don't you think there's nothing in this that you would not expect?
Yes, but when you come to the issue of engaging detailed policies on a given benefit or a given subject, we've got to be able to show that we are adopting a set of principles which are supported by the people of the Isle of Man. So I don't think they were too general. I think they were very specific things like targeting benefits where they're really needed, rather than universality, adoption of means testing, encouraging self-sufficiency.
But
all these things
are all the answers you'd expect.
No, but they are very, very important, because we have, as it were, danced to a different tune now for decades.
I put this to you. You're going into Tynwald in December, aren't you? And you're going to be able to say, the public are behind me. I've got the results.
They are behind the principles. What they have got to yet see is the way we engage our policies linked to those principles. And if we, as it were, deviate from them, then that's where the criticism will come, and rightly so.
When is your supertanker going to start slowing down and changing direction? I mean, I asked this about the government in general, because it is quite a process, isn't it, to get anything changed?
It's huge. Well, my department's got 4 major projects in play at the moment. Housing, children and families, the benefit system itself, and elderly care.
When will it start to be seen or felt?
It is actually starting to engage now. We saw, for example, an adjustment on public sector rents last year. That will move on. We will ultimately move into means testing in that area. The Chief Minister's already announced that there'll be a significant change in child benefit in April 2014, and it will continue to emerge. I think what's underlying that question is, well, goodness me, when are we going to get on with it, really? And I understand that, and I think that's reflected in some of the comments we've had back from the general public. But you know, these are so profound changes that we really must take each step very, very carefully indeed.
Means testing means more civil servants to do this work, does it not?
No, it doesn't necessarily mean that at all. It means a certain amount of additional administration, I accept that. But if you balance off the additional cost, which we will very much keep under control, with the benefits on the opposite side, in other words, not providing benefits to individuals who frankly don't need it, then yes, it's very much worth it.
Are you expecting a bumpy ride in Tynwald?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's a major, major debate. There's a lot of subjects to cover. We're going to cover from birth right the way through to effectively really old age. And we've got to do justice to each area. I won't be rushing any of it because that debate is going to, as it were, set the scene for a lot that will follow from there in the years subsequent to the debate.
Chris Robershaw, thanks so much indeed.
Pleasure.